Hey everyone, it's been a while since I made a video on this channel, and I was really questioning whether I wanted to continue to make videos or do podcasts. I've been having a lot of fun going on different streams and talking Packers, so I certainly am thinking about the Packers a lot, and I'm certainly invested. But we are a quarter of the way through the season, so we can call this quarter one. I'm curious what everyone's thoughts are on the Packers, the state of the Packers after quarter one. Personally, if you started the season saying we'd be 2-2, I'd probably say, that sounds about right. There's a lot of good young talent on this team, and it's obvious that many of these players still lack the proper fundamentals and technique to execute the things that the coaching staff is having them execute. And, if you really think about it, it's starting to look like the NFL is a league where you kind of have to come into the league understanding and knowing good technique, because they aren't spending the amount of time to develop players like they used to. Now, the Packers have always been seen as a draft and development organization, and one thing we can say for sure is with the quarterback, they're a development organization. Jordan Love has had time to sit behind Aaron Rodgers and learn. He's developing. That's great. And as we've witnessed the first 4 games of the season, that Jordan Love looks pretty ready. I mean, from a knowledge standpoint, from a confidence standpoint, from understanding the scheme and knowing what to do with the ball, he seems like the real deal. He certainly has some physical talent, and I think he's only going to get better as the speed of the game starts to slow down for him, and that he just has the reps. There are just some things in football that you can't replace experience with. So that's all looking really good. Another thing I've been thinking about is we as a Packer fan base. I think this probably isn't just with the Packers, but it probably is across the NFL and different fan bases. But I get the feeling that we're overvaluing, or we think our players are better than they really are. The reason I say that is because we tend to think that as long as you have the correct scheme in place, that there is no way another team should be able to score on you or prevent you from scoring with your own offense. The fact of the matter is that players make plays, and the scheme can only put the players in a good position. So I think the frustrations and the things we've seen with the Packers thus far is a little could be blamed a little bit on the players and a little bit on the scheme. And by blaming players, I'm not looking to single out any one player or any one group of players. But put it this way, is our defensive line as good as we thought they were to begin the season? Is the defensive backs as good as we thought they were going to be? Maybe they aren't. And on the other hand, is the scheme right for the type of players that we have on this roster? Could we adjust the scheme to better take advantage of our abilities on both sides of the ball? I suspect that the truth is somewhere in between. It's certainly true that the players need to make the plays. If they are put in a position to make a play, they need to make those plays. They need to run and block and be accountable for all the fundamentals that they should be developing over the years. And as I kind of talked about before, I think the Packers need to get better at developing talent. It seems like over the last few years under the LaFleur regime, we've kind of gotten away from that development. At least that's my opinion based on the eye test. I could be wrong. But the major point I want to make is that it seems like not only is the scheme not matching up with our talent, but our talent is also not executing at the high level we expect them to. So I think that there's plenty of blame to go for the difficulties we've had this season, both on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball. I think it's just too simplistic to say that we're the youngest team in the NFL. While that's true, and we do expect to see some growing pains, it is a bit discouraging to see players that have been in the system for 2, 3, 4 years really seem to take big steps backwards or not contribute the way we expect them to. So, to wrap this all up, I think the state of the Packers is semi-strong. There's a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be excited for, but there's a lot of frustration that we see with this team that could be explained by poor coaching, poor effort, injuries, and other things that might affect the players. So it should be an exciting rest of the season. We're only 25% through the season. We've got 75% of the season to go, so there's a lot to look forward to, and anything can happen at this point. So I hope we can get healthy, get strong, and make a good run at this division. There's no reason we can't. But let's see how it plays out. I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts on the matter. What do you think the Packers look like after the first quarter of this season? All right, everyone. Go Pack, go.